Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kristen. You're watching Kristincooks. In the mood for some treats today. We have chocolate chip blondies and edible chocolate chip cookie dough. And there's a trick to making it edible. So let's just stay tuned and find out what that is. Okay, starting with the dry ingredients for the blondies, we have 2 cups of all-purpose flour, a half a teaspoon of baking powder, and a teaspoon of kosher salt. Whisk that together to incorporate it all, and then put it aside. Then in a bigger bowl, you're going to put in 2/3 cup unsalted butter, melted and cooled, and then add into that the brown sugar, 1 3/4 cup packed light brown sugar, and yeah, I measured this kind of weird, but just it's a 1 3/4 cups. Yeah. Combining the sugar and the butter together. There is no white sugar, it's only brown sugar in this. That's what makes them so good. And then after this, I'm going to add in 2 large eggs and whisk those in, and then 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. I didn't quite have 2 teaspoons left, so I was a little short, but it's okay. I need to get more. And then after this, then I'm going to add in the chocolate chips and put it into a 9x9-inch baking pan lined with foil or parchment paper, which is what I did. And then you're going to want to spray the parchment paper really good to make sure it doesn't stick. And preheat your oven to 350. So yeah, I just was like in the mood for some treats, and I wanted to show some edible cookie dough because my kids like to make this. And there is a trick to it though. I'll tell you about it when we get to it. But I mean, I have people from all ages that watch my channel. Maybe not a lot of each age group, but so I just thought, you know, what if you have, you know, like a grandchild come and spend the night? You could make them some cookie dough for a treat. Or what if you want to watch Netflix and have some snacks? Like the cookie dough would come in handy for that too. And the blondies, but I just wanted to add in the edible cookie dough, you know, just for an extra option. So, I don't know. I'll link both of the recipes in the description box below. And just a heads up, on the edible cookie dough recipe, there's 3 different kinds of cookie dough flavors. So, that could be fun. Okay, so I had to kind of make my own 9x9-inch baking pan. This is a 9x13, and I had to kind of block off part of the baking pan so that the cookie dough didn't like spread too much and get too thin and weird or something. So this is what we came up with. It was done at 38 minutes in my oven. Toothpick came out clean. It was awesome. And it's very important to use the right size pan with this recipe. I found this out last night. This is the second time making this recipe for me. I tried making it in an 8x8 last night, and it did not bake all the way through. I had to throw it out. It was such a disappointment. I didn't do it right the first time, so I wasted all that stuff, and I'm just kind of irritated with myself. But second time turned out great. So now we're going on to the edible chocolate chip cookie dough. So to make it edible, you're going to want to bake the flour, which will kill any bacteria in it, for about 7 minutes at 350, and the temperature should be at 160 for it to be, what is it called? Clean. Heat treated. Yes. Okay, so now moving on to the butter. I have 1 stick of butter, half a cup of light brown sugar, and 3 tablespoons of granulated sugar, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And then I'm going to beat all of this together until it's nice and airy. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I thought edible cookie dough just meant no eggs, but there's bacteria in flour, I guess. So in order to make it edible and not to get sick from the flour, you need to heat treat the flour before you put together your cookie dough. And make sure your flour is cooled, of course. Okay, and then to the butter and the sugar, you're going to add 1.5 tablespoons of milk. Add more as needed. And then also a 1/2 teaspoon of extract. Beat those together. I didn't have to add more because I was kind of sloppy with my measurements and I probably had a little bit too much, but anyway, it was fine. And the lumps you see there are from the flour because it kind of lumps up, I guess, is in the oven when it's being heat treated. But I just took a whisk and broke it up and it was fine. And then also another tip here, you'll want to use mini chocolate chips, work best in this, because when you put it in the fridge, it is going to get hard because the butter is going to solidify again and get harder. So it's just easier eating with the mini chocolate chips. And then you can just store it in the fridge. Let it rest to room temperature if you want to make it easier eating. I tried it right here, really good. Both things turned out really, really well. The Blondies were so good. They were really chewy from the brown sugar, and it was just really great. So if you like this, comment, thumbs up, subscribe. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.